What's up, guys? Welcome to day two of Hansen Camp's online learning. It is March 31st. I hope last week, guys, you had a great time going through some of that content the district gave you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your parents about the email they got. But yesterday, we gave a brief introduction about how class was going to look, some rules, some procedures, how to contact me, and then we gave a very brief intro into Reconstruction. So today, what I would like to do is give you the format of what this class is going to look like. So, Reconstruction. We left off here. This is all I want to worry about today. So, let's dig in. After the Civil War, President Lincoln had an idea, or he had to have an idea, of how to get the country back together. What was the best course of action to move on, move forward? Clearly, we talked yesterday about how the sides were not really happy with each other, but they're still needing to kind of find a way to make amends and move forward as a unified country. So here is President Abraham Lincoln's plan. Take a look. Here it is. There are several points. We're going to go through these one at a time. So, Proclamation of Amnesty and Reconstruction. He did this in December 8th of 1863. So, amnesty. What? Amnesty is an official pardon of people who have been convicted of political offenses. So, what President Abraham Lincoln was saying is, guess what? Southern soldiers, Southern sympathizers, low-ranking officers, those who were helping the Confederates in the background during the war, you're good. You've been pardoned. Come back. We forgive you. We forgive you for wanting to leave. Come back, join the United States of America, and let's move forward stronger than before. That's what amnesty means, okay? Where are we at? So, Proclamation of Amnesty was his first thing after the Civil War. You are pardoned. He also wanted to replace majority rule with loyal rule in the South. Okay? We'll get to that in a second. He also didn't consult Congress regarding the Reconstruction. He didn't go into Congress, he didn't go up to the representatives, House members and Senate members and say, Q&A time. Let's kind of just brainstorm some ideas of what we think could be done. He kind of just acted. And he needed to act fast because the war had just ended. Both sides were still not getting along, specifically the South. They were angry. And he came up with an idea that he thought was in the best interest of the country, and he kind of just ramrodded that through. He went through and he decided, I'm going to take these courses of action to hopefully heal the country. So he did, like I said earlier, he pardoned some, but not all. He did not want to have northern Union soldiers or northern citizens hear that, the highest ranking generals, for instance, Lee, just like, you know what, you're forgiven, good to go. You wanted to secede, Mr. Lee, Mr. Jackson, you wanted to secede? Well, guess what? You're forgiven. He didn't want that. So he pardoned low-ranking officers, officials, citizens, but he did not pardon everyone, okay? One of the last things that he did was he wanted to make sure that they were loyal moving forward. So what he did was he wanted 10% of the voting population in the 1860 election to take an oath of loyalty to establish the Union, okay, to stay together. All right, and if they did that, then they would be recognized and they would be brought back. So these are President Abraham Lincoln's plans. Okay, loyal rule, be loyal. Okay, now, unfortunately, as most of us know, President Lincoln didn't get to see his plan unfold because he kind of got assassinated. So this is our primary source of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. You can read here, it says the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater, Washington, D.C., April 14th, 1865. This, our perpetrator, is John Wilkes Booth. He was a famous Southern Confederate actor and sympathizer. He was someone who was sympathizing, or he kind of tried to understand what the Confederacy was thinking. He was someone who was anti-union. He was pro-slavery. He was pro-states' rights and how to stay away from industrialization if they wanted to and focus on their agriculture. He didn't want a whole lot of export taxes, and so he did not get along with what President Abraham Lincoln was doing throughout the war, and he specifically showed a lot of anger after the war, that anger resulting in him killing President Abraham Lincoln. So this is his assassination. Didn't get to see all of his work come to fruition. So the last thing I want to talk about today before you work on your discussion question is the harsh radical Republicans. The radical Republicans were a group of Republicans who actually, based on today's standards, doesn't sound a whole lot radical, but back then actually was. All right, what did they want? What did the radical Republicans want? Well, the radical Republicans wanted political equality. For who? For all, regardless of your skin color. Also, they wanted economic opportunity. So our former slaves who are now freed are looking for opportunities. Many of them stayed within their same vocation or job. Many of them had only the experience of tending to fields or manual labor. And so a lot of them stayed in that field. But what radical Republicans wanted is an opportunity for these recently freed African Americans to, guess what, have opportunities elsewhere. You want to be a doctor? Go study, work hard, be a doctor. Do you want to be a lawyer? Get your nose in the books and go out and chase that dream. They wanted opportunities for all. At the time back then, that made them radical. By today's standards, that makes them normal. Okay? So, this is his plan. This is what amnesty means. This is our primary source. And these are our radical Republicans. So, unfortunately, the radical Republicans, their movement didn't last very long. It was too radical at the time, and they kind of went away after a couple of years. So, one of the last things I want to do today, because it's our first work day, is I'm going to go ahead and show you very briefly how this is going to look. All right, when you hop onto Canvas, and you'll go to your modules, and you will see this, Reconstruction. You are going to follow along down the line number by number. There will be videos, a discussion question, a study time, video, discussion question, study time. We're going to follow this format, and then there will be an kind of like I said quiz, it's more like a quick check. Prove to me that you know this stuff at the end of every week. Remember, this is go at your own pace. You should spend about 25 minutes a day on this, but go at your own pace. And again, as always, if you have questions, hit me up 9 a.m. to 11, 1 p.m. to 3. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Or before is fine, after is fine. Just might take me a little bit longer. Remember, have any questions, let me know. All right, guys. All right. Have a good one. Stay safe.